September 13th call from WSIB. Hello?
Good afternoon, Ryan. It's Mrs. Lewis calling you back on the workplace safety insurance bid.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so you got an email from Bruce
Yep.
asking for a date for us to do a teleconference call.
Yeah, I got that email that you received the information back from CAMH.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was the answer?
They confirmed that the restriction pertains specifically to the station that you were working at, and not York Regional Police in entirety.
And you have that in writing?
Correct.
And when did you receive that?
Yesterday.
And have you sent me a copy?
I beg your pardon?
Have you sent me a copy?
I would not be sending you a copy. I cannot send a copy of the report to you. That's something that had to be requested. So I spoke to Bruce. He sent me a letter requesting a copy. So I'm going to forward it on to Access so that he can get a copy of that report. What you will get instead is not a copy of that report, but a copy of the work restriction letter that I will be sending to your employer, advising what the work restrictions are.
And what are those restrictions?
The work restrictions is no frontline police duty.
Huh?
Okay. And no work at that incident police station.
And so, in other words, WSIB is forcing me back to YRP.
No. What I'm advising you is that the next step is to discuss return to work. You choose whether or not you wish to return to work with your incident employer.
I've already... okay, but Winsome, I've already told you that I can't.
The psychological report indicated that we agree you cannot return to that station.
No. Winsome, I just asked you if you're forcing me back to York Regional Police, and you said it's up to me whether or not I go back with the incident, the injury, the employer. Right. And I'm telling you...
Incident employer, not the location.
I'm sorry? Yes, I'm telling you with
York Regional Police doesn't only have one station, correct?
No, but they are the employer. You're telling me that you're
Correct.
forcing me back to go to work with York Regional Police. The employer. Regardless of the station, you're forcing me to go back into the York Regional Police to work for that employer.
I am not forcing, I don't use that word. However, the psychological restrictions that has been accepted in your file is that you are able to work with that employer at a different location.
Okay, let me ask it this way
Not
then.
frontline police work.
Yeah, let me ask it this way. Am I being forced to go back to work for the employer? The injury?
You can choose to resign and not return to work, Mr. Bellis. So no, you're not being forced to return to work with York Regional Police. That is a decision that you will make with your consultation with your representative. I am not in a position to make that decision for you. All I can do is tell you that the psychological restrictions that have come back from the assessment is that you are able to do alternate duties at a different location with that employer.
And so the option for work transition into a different employer is not available to me.
Not at this time. No, your employer has not been ruled out.
And why not? What has to happen in order for the employer to be ruled out?
Right now, the medical report that's come back has indicated that your condition is in full remission and that you're not to return to frontline police duty and not to return to that incident site. Your employer, as a whole, has the opportunity at this point, so the ball's in their court, so to speak, right now, to determine whether or not they're able to offer you alternative work at the same pay and benefits for us to move forward. If they come back and say no, they do not have anything else that they can offer you, then we would move on to looking for work with a new employer.
And has your supervisor been in on all the decisions all along the way on this?
Has she reviewed the medical information on the file? Yes, she has.
And she's reviewed, and she's aware that of my psychological assessment from the psychologist, Kathy, that I'm not able to go back into the York Regional Police environment?
That is why we sent you to the CAMH report. So she's familiar with the CAMH report.
And is she familiar with the report from Kathy Januziak?
She's familiar with your file now, yes.
Okay, and then so like, because I'm telling you that I can't, right? So does that make sense? Like, I don't think so. You are forcing me back. The only option I have is to resign, or go back to work at York Regional Police.
I don't want you to make any rash decision. I'm going to have you speak with Bruce.
No. I'm asking what WSIB is forcing me into this decision. There is no decision, right? You're forcing me. You're saying that I can either resign. My options now, your decision. The WSIB, from your decision, my options are to either resign or go back to work for York Regional Police. Those are my only two options.
I've not given you any options, Ryan. I'm saying that we're going to be discussing, and that's why I'm saying that once you're making any decision, we have not fully disclosed all the options yet, and it's the process, because we don't know what your employer is going to put forward. And I don't want you making a decision at this point in time about resigning, because I did not move that word yet.
Yeah, you did use that word.
Just find out what it is that your employer is able to offer, and we'll make decisions moving forward in the process. All I'm asking at this point in time is a conversation with yourself, your representative that you choose, and the return to work specialist to start the process again.
The process of what, Winsome?
Of discussing what it is your employer is able to offer or not offer.
But the psychological assessment, I'm not psychologically able to go back into that environment.
That is not what the medical information on file is going to.
That's perhaps not what the CAMH report says, but that's what my report says.
That is correct, and that's the information that's moving forward within the file. That is why.
So how do I make a complaint? Who's the complaining body? Because this is absolutely ridiculous.
I beg your pardon?
A couple things.
You're asking for.
I'd like to know who
my manager again.
I'd like to know who I make a complaint, and also